In the heart of Nigeria, long before his name sent shivers down the spine of a nation, there was just Lawrence Anini. Born around 1960 in a village near Benin City, his early life was, well, unremarkable. Anini started his journey not as a criminal but as a taxi driver, navigating the bustling streets of Benin. He learned the roads, the shortcuts, and the rhythm of the city. It began subtly, as Anini started to associate with the transport union touts and small-time criminals who lurked in the city's motor parks. He was sharp, observant, and possessed a natural charisma that drew people to him. These early days were his apprenticeship in the world of crime. He learned how to orchestrate small heists. He began to recruit other young, disgruntled men who were drawn to the promise of quick wealth and power. His most significant recruit was Monday Osunbor, a man who would become his loyal second-in-command. Together they formed a gang that was more organized and ruthless than the petty criminals the city was used to. Anini was the brain, the strategist, while his crew provided the muscle. They started small with carjackings and minor robberies, honing their skills and building a fearsome reputation. He was no longer just a driver, he was a leader, a planner, and a budding kingpin. He understood the power of fear and the weakness of a system that was often slow to react. The seeds of his notorious reign were sown in these early years, as he meticulously built the foundations of a criminal empire. The streets of Benin that he once drove for a living were about to become his personal kingdom, a stage for one of the most dramatic crime sagas in Nigeria's history. By the mid-1980s, Lawrence Anini was no longer a small-time operator. His name, spoken in hushed tones, became synonymous with terror. Anini and his gang unleashed a wave of audacious and violent robberies that left both the public and the police force stunned. They targeted banks, businesses, wealthy individuals with military precision, often striking in broad daylight. Their raids were not just about the money, they were a performance, a bold declaration of their power. After a successful robbery, he would sometimes drive through the city's main streets, throwing handfuls of stolen cash to the cheering crowds in the marketplace. This act turned him into a twisted Robin Hood figure for some, a man who stole from the rich and gave to the poor. The gang's notoriety was amplified by their inside connections. It was widely rumored, and later confirmed, that Anini had accomplices within the police force itself. These corrupt officers, most notably Deputy Superintendent of Police George Ayamu, provided the gang with crucial information. They would supply weapons, reveal police patrol routes, help the gang evade capture after their operations. This collusion explained how Anini always seemed to be one step ahead of the law. The impact on society was profound. Fear became a constant companion for the residents of Benin City. Businesses closed early, and the streets emptied as soon as dusk fell. People told stories of his supposed supernatural powers, claiming he could disappear and reappear at will, making him seem invincible. His reign was a dark chapter for the state, a time when a single man and his gang held an entire population in a grip of fear, challenging the very authority of the Nigerian government. The audacity of Lawrence Anini reached its peak when he declared a direct war on the police. After feeling betrayed by his police confederates over the sharing of loot, Anini decided to expose and dismantle the corrupt network that had once aided him. He began targeting police officers, leading to a series of violent and fatal confrontations. In August 1986, his gang ambushed and murdered a police officer, sending a chilling message that no one was safe. His most daring move was the attempted assassination of the state's military governor, Colonel John Inyenger. It demonstrated the terrifying extent of his confidence. While the governor survived, the attack sent shockwaves across the country. Anini had become a national security threat. The incident was a direct slap at Nigeria's military government, headed by General Ibrahim Babangida. In response, General Babangida gave the Inspector General of Police, Eti Minyang, a direct and public ultimatum. "My friend, where is Anini?" The hunt for Anini intensified. It became the top priority for the Nigerian police force. A special squad was formed, and the nation watched as the dramatic manhunt unfolded. Anini reveled in the attention and used the media to his advantage. He would communicate with newspaper houses, granting interviews and sending letters where he detailed police corruption. He styled himself as a social crusader. He named high-ranking officers like George Ayamu as his partners in crime. The narrative captivated the nation. He was a villain and an anti-hero, a brutal criminal who exposed the rot within the system meant to uphold justice. Despite his mythic status and uncanny ability to evade capture, Lawrence Anini was, in the end, only human. His reign of terror came to an end on December 3, 1986. The breakthrough for the police came not through a heroic shootout but through careful intelligence and a bit of luck. Anini was tracked to a house in Benin City where he was relaxing with several female companions. In a swift and decisive move, the police captured him. During the arrest, Anini was shot in his left leg, an injury that would leave him crippled. The capture of the law was a moment of national catharsis. The news spread like wildfire and the public finally saw the man behind the myth. He was no longer the invincible phantom of their fears but a wounded, captured criminal. His trial became a national sensation. Conducted before a military tribunal, the proceedings were broadcast for all to see. Anini, speaking from his wheelchair, made a series of shocking confessions. He calmly detailed his crimes and exposed deep-seated corruption within the police force. The evidence was overwhelming. The tribunal found Lawrence Anini and his associates guilty of murder and armed robbery. On March 29, 1987, the final chapter of Anini's life came to a close. Lawrence Anini and his convicted associates were executed by a firing squad. The execution was a public spectacle meant to serve as a powerful deterrent and to signal the restoration of law and order. Anini's rise and fall serve as a permanent reminder that no individual is above the law and that eventually justice in one form or another will always prevail.